was a possibility that we would get something from the Supreme Court today, and we did. This is about the DNA case, and here's the question that was before the court, and I'm going to bring in Pete Williams. And, Pete, this is basically the question of whether or not you can take DNA from someone who's been arrested but is presumed innocent, correct?
Right. This is an important privacy case here. The question was, all states take DNA from people who are convicted of crimes. This is the question of whether you can take people once they're arrested but not convicted of a crime. Half the states do this, and the Supreme Court today upheld that practice by a 5-4 vote. Now, what the challengers of this practice said is, you're taking DNA from somebody that you don't suspect of committing another crime. There's no probable cause to think they've committed another crime, so the police don't have the legal standing to get that DNA sample. But the court said today there are two reasons why it is, in essence, a legitimate thing for the police to do. First of all, they said you want to establish the identity of the person, and the DNA is a sure way to do that. And secondly, they said in order to determine whether it's safe to release them on bail, it's good to know whether they have another conviction for a violent crime out there that perhaps the DNA would solve. What the police want to do is take this DNA and check it against the database of unsolved or so-called cold cases. And the Supreme Court said for those two reasons you can do it. Interesting lineup of the justices here. Justice Kennedy wrote the opinion. He was joined by three of the court's conservatives, Roberts, Thomas, and Alito, and then also by Justice Breyer for the fifth vote. The dissenters were Justice Scalia, one of the conservatives, and then the court's liberals, the other liberals, Justices Ginsburg, Sotomayor, and Kagan. So the Supreme Court has upheld this practice, saying it's for all practical purposes, it's the 21st century version of fingerprints, and the police can take them when someone's arrested, even if that person hasn't been convicted. So that's it for today. It looks like, Chris, we won't get opinions again until next Monday.
Yeah, and the other things that are outstanding, and obviously there's some very critical ones, including same-sex marriage, DOMA, and some voting rights rulings that are being very anxiously awaited.
We've been waiting for a decision about affirmative action in public universities since October. It's been on the calendar longer than any other case. So it looks like, again, another term where all the biggies come at the end.
All right. Thank you so much, Pete Williams.